Something that I'm very proud and is exceptional about Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, he's now a Texan.
Yeah!
Please welcome up Lieutenant Colonel Alan West.
No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first. That's the motto of the 1st Infantry Division. 1st Infantry Division that landed 75 years ago on Omaha Beach. So God bless you. Thank you so much. But Charles touched on something. You know, Ronald Reagan said that there were 3 pillars to conservatism. He talked about fiscal conservatism. He talked about national security. And he talked about social conservatism. And there are some people today that believe that we should not talk about social conservatism. But I will tell you that at this point in time, not just in Texas, but in the United States of America, people are looking for values. People are looking for folks that will stand up for what is right, what is true. So many people are teaching our young people that there's no such thing as an objective truth. There is. And when I think about social conservatism, what Jonathan has done with Texas values, he's broken it down even further. And when you think about this thing about religious liberty, if you ever go back and read the letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote to the Danbury Baptist Convention where he talked about the concept of separation of church and state, the reason why Thomas Jefferson talked about it is because the people that came here from England came here because of religious persecution. They came here because King Henry VIII made himself, he was already the head of state, he then made himself the head of church. He was the one that declared what true religion was supposed to be based upon what he felt the Church of England was supposed to be. Basically, he created the Church of England because he wanted to be able to have divorces. But the exact same thing is happening here in the United States of America. Because we have people that no longer understand what our constitutional rights are. There's a reason why the Founding Fathers put freedom of religion and the free exercise thereof as the very first liberty that an individual has, because they did not want to repeat the mistakes of England. But now in America, we have a government that is making up their own religion. And if you don't abide by their religion, their ideological rights, then your constitutional rights mean nothing. And that's the real challenge that we have. Just a couple of weeks ago, one of the Democrat presidential candidates, one of the clown car candidates, I think we're about 24 now. Yeah, I said that. Y'all got it on tape. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, she said that there's no difference from being pro-life than being a racist. And just the same as we don't tolerate racism in the United States of America, we should not tolerate anyone that is pro-life. Now here's a sitting United States Senator that supposedly took an oath to support the Constitution of the United States of America, that does not understand that in your Bill of Rights, the very first right that you have as an individual is the freedom of religion, that religious liberty. She's trying to say that if you believe in the first inalienable right that Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, that is life, that you're no different from a person that is a racist. This is what's happening now in Texas. The fact that we have Texas values, I think is great, but the fact that they're so busy, that should be very disconcerting to each and every one of us, that this is happening in the Lone Star State. No, I wasn't born in Texas. I'm not a 5th generation Texan. But I graduated from the University of Tennessee, and they wouldn't be a daggone Texan if they weren't for Tennessee. The first president of this republic was a former governor of Tennessee. That's how I digress. There is a fight that is happening here. We talked about the fact that they wanted to remove the reference of the word heroic from those men that stood for 13 days, 185 of them at the Alamo, to include a former member of Congress from the great state of Tennessee by the name of David Crockett. And Georgians as well, from where I was born and raised. See, there's a fight that is going on. And there's a fight that will define the United States of America right here. And that's why we need to support Texas values. Because if we continue to allow people to redefine what our rights are based upon their own ideological agenda, then the United States of America will be lost. And we can't allow that to happen right here in these Lone Star states. of Texas, in these 254 counties. You look over here where it says marriage and family. When I was born in 1961, the two-parent household in the black community was between 75 and 77%. But something happened. Because today, the two-parent household in the black community is now at 24%. And you want to know what happened? It was a guy that used to be a senator from the state of Texas, who went on to become a president of the United States of America. The man from the Pedernales, as they call it, I believe, if I said that right. Lyndon Baines Johnson. When Lyndon Baines Johnson came up with his Great Society programs, and one of those programs was that if a woman has a child out of wedlock, the government will provide her a check. No matter how many children she has out of wedlock, the government will continue to provide her a check, except there was one caveat. She could not have a man in the home. And the one thing that was the foundation of the inner city community, the community that I grew up in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, the old Fourth Ward, the same neighborhood that gave us Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's now decimated. When you see all that is going on, it's because the left, the progressive socialist left, destroyed the family, and they're continuing to do the exact same thing. Because they have redefined what a family is. You know, the little show on ABC, which I always refuse to watch, called Modern Family. Because they will tell you what a family is. And we cannot allow that to happen. So that's why we need someone like Texas Values to go out there and preach this, to tell everyone, a person from the state of Texas is the reason why we see the decimation of the family unit in the inner city communities. That's why social conservatism is so important. Sheriff Rayburn sees it. He sees the crime, he sees the violence in these inner city communities. Look at what is happening over on the south side of the Trinity River in Dallas, Texas right now. Dallas, Texas is becoming like Detroit with all the murders and what have you. Why? Because someone came along and redefined what the family is. Someone came along and took responsible men out of the house and they replaced them with government. See, we sing God Bless America. That's God with a big G. We don't sing government bless America. Government has a little G. But if we're not careful, they will redefine everything so that we will bow down and worship government and not our true Lord and Savior and our God. Life. Well, this is pretty simple. The things that Governor Cuomo signed into law in New York is the reason why Dr. Kermit Gosnell sits in prison for life. But yet people celebrate it. It's not just in New York. It's not just what we heard Ralph Northam say. Did y'all see, he's still the governor of Virginia. You know? I thought they were talking about him stepping down. See, that's how they roll. They just wait out the news cycle, and then we all forget, and they continue on. That's why we need Texas Values, to make sure we don't forget. But now you just recently had the Republican governor of Vermont sign the exact same type of law in the state of Vermont. This is not about a woman's choice. And furthermore, have we ever asked them, what is that choice? Right. I think in Deuteronomy 30:19, God says, I lay before you heaven and earth, and life and death. Now choose for yourselves life, so that you and your descendants shall live. See, we need to tell people really what the choice is. The choice is that they are choosing a culture of death. And Jonathan, it should be no surprise, because back in 2008, there was a person that ran to be president of the United States of America that passed a law in Illinois, supported a law in Illinois that said, even if a child survives an abortion, they still deserve to die. And this country elected that person to be its president. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's here. And if we continue to go down the path of, as you know, when Joshua in 24:15 also said, choose for yourselves today whom you shall serve, whether it be the gods of the Amorites or the gods from across the river. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Look at what happened in the early chapters of Judges. After Joshua and all that generation that died, the children of Israel started worshiping the Baals. And one of the gods of the Baals was Moloch. Moloch was the god of child sacrifice. And that's where we are today in the United States of America. See, social conservatism is going to make a difference, because faith and family and freedom are all tied together. And you know where we can make this message so effective? We make it effective in the inner city communities. We make it effective in the black community. We make it effective in the Hispanic communities. Because those are the communities that the other side targets. But when was the last time you ever saw a billboard? When was the last time you ever saw anyone stand up and say, the founder of Planned Parenthood was a racist? The founder of Planned Parenthood was a white supremacist. The founder of Planned Parenthood spoke at Ku Klux Klan rallies. Now they ripped down the statue of Robert E. Lee over there in Dallas. Robert E. Lee never spoke at a Klan rally. And that's what we need to be telling folks. How is it that an organization founded by a white supremacist is getting hundreds of millions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer money? How is it that an organization founded by a white supremacist is located in 70 to 75% of inner city communities in the United States of America? How is it that an organization founded by a white supremacist, since Roe v. Wade in 1973, 46 years, 18 million unborn black babies have been ripped out of the mother's womb and killed? In any other sense, that would be called genocide. But yet we have the other side talking about reparations for slavery. That's why we need Texas Values, to bring those key points into those communities where it matters. You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see some of y'all sponsor a billboard. Billboards are powerful. I can tell you because Matt had me stuck in traffic getting over here from I saw a lot of billboards on 183 and 121 and 635. Well, wouldn't it be great if all over the state of Texas, down the I-35 corridor, down 45, down 10, you name it, we have billboards. We talked about the things that Matt just mentioned, the things that I just mentioned. We talked about the agenda of Texas Values. That's how we win. Some people may not understand tax policy. Some people may not understand national security or foreign policy. People understand religious liberty. People understand family. People understand life. Our challenge is to get them to understand exactly what is happening to them today. Don't leave here without supporting this organization. Because I have skills. If you've been looking at my Facebook page recently, you see some of my pictures going to the range. I can reach out and touch you. At least up to 800 yards. And you will not hear it coming. But this is the important fight. Everyone understands values. And if we don't take this as our #1 cause, then there will be a teacher that does. There will be a professor at a university that does. And the things that you're trying to inculcate into your children, the next thing you know, your children will come home and you won't recognize them. Just this past Friday, my oldest daughter graduated from physician assistant school. Proud of her. 2 master's degrees in 4 years. My youngest daughter, she'll graduate undergrad at the end of July. I will not allow anyone else to teach my daughter's values. And you should not allow any of your children or grandchildren to have someone else teach them values. If they are going to be taught values, let them doggone be Texas values.
Amen.
God bless you all.